Yo, what is poppin'? We're back. Episode 15 of Frieren. Episode 15. I think last episode we had Stark flirting a bit with Fern. Fern and Stark. The romance is building. It's gonna be fun, fun, fun. If by the end of this season, they better be together by the end of this season, because what are they, like 18 at this point? Like they should not be like kiddish territory anymore. They've been with each other for like what, like 5 years thus far, 8 years. They've been on this journey for a while, so I expect them to get in a relationship. So, without further ado, let's begin the reaction. Oh, whoa! The animation! Oh my god! Okay, never mind. I thought they've been together way longer. A year. Okay. A tank? A rogue! Oh, the sudden music. Nah, I feel ya! We need someone thicker! Yeah, what a massive tonal shift. I thought we were, having a good time talking about MILFs and everything. Got everybody dead. Interesting. So there's like very demon specific magic that they have. That is interesting that we have essentially like 3 different magic systems here. The magic of man, the magic of demons, and the magic of the gods. So even so it's like it comes from some higher power potentially. So even this priest guy potentially might not even know how it works. Like he might know sort of the ways you can activate godly magic, but he might not know the basic principles behind it. Oh my god, Stark! Come on, bro! Bro! You probably shouldn't stay in the village. You'd probably go outside where it's a lot safer and... Interesting. This is really bad. It's following them like outside the village. And it doesn't seem like the demon itself is present. Like there may not be even a monster here. It could just be like a spell that's lasted the entire time. Is she falling asleep too? Oh no, Frieren! This is bad. And treat this old lady with respect. What the fuck? Dang! Dang! He can move! But what the fuck is a priest supposed to do against this? Okay. A reflective barrier, perhaps? So you gotta aim for the inside there. Oh! How is he moving like that? Is he already saying like fuck it to Frieren? Already? This is the first trial you faced and you just dipping? So you have to trust. Put your trust in Frieren. As you do, put the trust in your god. Oh shit! Yo, Fury was quick with it! Oh my god, the OST is going crazy. really incredible. The fact that she woke up and she knew exactly what to do is crazy. Hey! Hey! Get those head pats, my boy. That's from an older woman. The lady from the village. Ah, okay. It's almost as if it's like he's trying to compliment Frieren, but he's not naming her directly. It's like, oh, that lady in the village, right? The one Frieren was just in. Who the fuck is that? He's hiring as mercenary. She's been here. Oh no, this man. Hey, you guys, no, you guys need money. Dirt poor. Might as well, right? You got 4 people. Everybody needs to eat. But it's interesting that we're getting, like... Yeah! I was gonna say, it's interesting that he recognized Stark just from, like, a mile away, and all of a sudden he came up to him just to try to, like, sort of measure his strength. Is his son dead, perhaps? And that's why he needs Stark to essentially, like, pretend. But it's interesting that this like Warriors Village is coming back into play, because I always thought it was just going to be like a backstory thing. No, nothing much. Just pretend to be my son for a day or so. Oh my god! Hey, you're still trying? Oh my god! I can't believe he agreed to that. This guy must be rich. You might want to do his hair a bit, like, make it a little bit more clean. Oh my god, they're already spending the money! My lady. Oh! Doesn't suit you? Ah, I thought she'd be blushing or something. But I guess she really did mean it. Oh! Oh! Oh, okay! I think she likes it. He says that, but he's from the same village of awkward warriors. Oh my god, this dude was... He's afraid of, like, appearing as a failure, essentially. And this sort of childhood trauma coming back up. Yeah, I mean... I love him nonetheless. Yeah, tell him! Oh, he does! Okay! That's a lot better than Stark's whole family. They didn't tell him shit. A little dance, perhaps? Nah. Fern. Go dance with your lover. Oh, shit! You know, it's always funny with these, like, fantasy animes. They always gotta have, like, a noble dance party. Like, this shit happened in Mushoku, too. Milady, may I? Hey, let's go. You say that, but you are smiling. You clearly enjoy it. Just looking down, checking to see if the feet's alright. Making sure that she's dancing and stuff. Okay. But Stark is very confident in all this. He's definitely practiced. He's not looking down at all. And it's almost as if she realizing that confidence, she looks up now. Looking at him. Hey, let's go. Yo, Frieren, he's making his move. Hey, I guess he really is interested in older ladies, huh? Inviting Frieren to a dance. This guy trying to be slick with it. I was gonna say. Give him a hug, bro. He's dealing with a lot right now, man. He lost his son. You guys are essentially from the same village too. And now you regret it. And almost as if like he wants to atone for his sins. So it's like they are essentially parallels in this case, but in this case Stark is the one who still has a chance to make things right. The storytelling is amazing. Someone save this man, bro. He's just standing there the entire time. Yeah, he's got a new son. He can start over. Do things right this time, you know? Whoa, 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 what is this? Long Live Friends, episode 16. What the fuck? I thought we were getting an ending. Holy shit, fantastic episode. Oh my god. What is it with fantasy animes and just dance scenes with nobles? I don't get it. I've read, because again, I mentioned this in the reaction, but Mushoku Tensei also has a similar dance scene in like episode 7. And it was amazing. Amazing dance scene. And here, again, it's amazing. The way it's used to essentially like sort of establish the connections between the characters and just the relationships is fantastic. And then you just sprinkle in like a little bit of the sort of the world building in there, right? With how the politics of the region works, and essentially the situation in the world, because at least in Frieren's case, we get to learn that essentially in the northern region, there are 3 main families that control it. And that essentially one of the families is a part of the same village that got destroyed by the demons that Stark was a part of. So it's just they're sprinkling in these little like tidbits, like these little nuggets of information that are just like, okay, so they're setting stuff up, but at the same time, you know, they're keeping it slow and they're really exploring the characters, and I like it because Mushoku Tensei did something similar, where they sort of established the sort of cruelty and the nastiness of the nobles at the not to just bring up like another anime into this, but they established a bunch of stuff in that episode. And it's not just Mushoku Tensei. I know I talk about it a lot, but I've read other like mangas, other isekai mangas and stuff like that, and it's a very, very similar thing. The kid gets born into a noble family, and somewhere along the lines they do a dance. It's a very common trope, but it's a trope that I actually like seeing. It's a fun trope. And I love the fact that again we actually do have a sort of legitimate reason to slow down the pacing of the anime, because the party essentially ran out of money. It's run out of money and they need to find ways to make money. So in other animes where they're going on a long journey, that might not be as much of a concern. That might not be. But at least in Frieren's case, you know, it's a good excuse to essentially slow down the pace and introduce a whole bunch of stuff. So, like, lots of fun stuff there. And I just love the way that, despite all this, despite all of, like, the relationship building and stuff, it's also just building up Stark as a character even more. Because Lord Orden, I feel like, is being used in this case as essentially the parallel to Stark's journey as a character. Because what do we know about Lord Odin? We know that Odin has had an argument with a son that's gone very badly, and he said something that he deeply regrets. And he mentions that the argument that he's had with his son is incredibly trivial, and that essentially after that argument, the son went off to war or something and ended up getting himself killed, and that was essentially the last time they were able to talk. So they were never able to make up, and he deeply regrets this part of his life. In a similar case with Stark, he's had a tremendous argument with his master. And even though we know from like the viewer's perspective that the master doesn't really take it too personally, the master knows that Stark is going to go on to do some great things, and that Stark is going to grow even stronger than the master, in this case Eisen. Despite all this, to Stark, he feels like he's fucked up somewhere. He's fucked up, and so on this journey that he's going with Frieren, he thinks to himself, the way I'm going to make it up to my master is that I'm going to retrace his footsteps, retrace the steps that he's taken to defeat the Demon Lord, and essentially come back and, tell the stories that he's had on this adventure with an old party member that he used to go along with. Lord Odin does not have that same privilege. There's no going back and making it up with his son. So in a sense, you can think of Stark as essentially the character that gets the chance to do it right. He has the chance to do it right, and this is the one situation where he realizes his master's not going to be around for too long. So he wants to get this adventure done and enjoy it as much as he can, so that by the time he comes back, his master is still alive and he can talk about it. He doesn't want it to be like a regret that he has going forward, which I think is it's fantastic storytelling. It's one of those things that I really like about Frieren, is that it's just the way they set up the characters, and just the storytelling of it all. And even though I do think, like, my one biggest gripe with Frieren, I love everything about Frieren, but the one biggest gripe I have with Frieren is sort of, I don't want to say characters, right? I think the character writing is good. I just think some of the characters are, how do I say, dull, kind of dull. And I get it, they're going for like a more realistic route and stuff like that. But I expected like the characters to have a little bit more distinguishing qualities with them, because I think out of every single character in the show, I think Frieren is probably my favorite. I think some of the other characters, even though I think that the writing for the characters is good, I just think their personalities is a bit, they're a bit dull. I think the author could have, gave them a little bit more oomph. But that's a minor nitpick. Besides that, like, fantastic character writing. God, the again, mentioned the whole Stark thing. I love the fact that during the dance with Fern, again, she's being tsundere as all shit. She's like, no, this doesn't suit you. But she's smiling. This doesn't suit you, but, you do enjoy it. You are smiling. You walk up to Stark with a flat expression. He gets on his knees, and all of a sudden you crack a grin. You crack a smile. As much as you want to deny that it doesn't suit him, you do seem to be enjoying it quite a bit. And you can tell, like, during the whole dance routine and stuff, Fern is looking on the ground, trying to take, notes of where to step and where not to step. Because you can tell, like, during the, sort of the montage scene, she was kind of struggling with dancing. It looked like she was kind of struggling. And I'm assuming she didn't have as long of a time to practice as Stark did. So as she, got into the stage, danced along with Stark, right, swaying back and forth, she has to look down. She looks down, make sure that she's stepping in the right way, and Stark, he doesn't look down. Stark is confident. He's had more time to prepare. So he looks at Frieren, or not Frieren, he looks at Fern, sees that she's struggling, and then takes the lead. He looks up, all confident. And because of that confidence, Fern essentially follows along. Looks up now. She doesn't look down anymore, and they follow each other step by step. This amazing visual storytelling. I love it. It's fantastic. And not only that, just the whole relationship with Frieren and the new guy. I don't remember his name. The priest. The priest asking Frieren for a dance. Even this entire time he's been shitting on Frieren. Like, oh, we need an older woman. But now, after the events of the first part, I think he's, genuinely starting to sort of care. He's genuinely caring for Frieren. I think he's genuinely. I don't know if he's attracted or not. Maybe not. It might be a bit of a stretch, but I do think. I want to believe that he's attracted to Frieren. Because he did say at the very end of the first part, oh, that's a nice lady from that village. They were talking about Frieren. Frieren gives him a head pat. He smiles and says, oh my god, that lady in the village sure was nice. Almost as if, he's talking about Frieren, but he doesn't really want to say it directly. So he's going a roundabout way of saying, hey, that village, that lady that we saw in the village, which could have been Frieren because she was at that village, well, sure was nice. And I like that. I like that the first part was really about essentially the priest guy sort of coming to terms with the party and choosing to place his trust in Frieren. And that's why I made that whole statement about maybe he potentially likes Frieren now. Romantically or not, I do think I want to believe that it's romantic, but I do think he does like genuinely feel attraction for her. Which I just think it's fun. I think it's fun. They had a whole like sort of world building things with like the three magic systems. We got demon magic, human magic, and god magic. Priests are essentially the ones who wield god magic, and they don't understand how it works. How? Oh my god, what's going on? However, this god magic thing happened. However, this god magic came to be. Maybe some powerful mage, or maybe they are actually gods that came down and blessed humans with this sort of magic. The fact that it exists and that mages can't even decipher it, and Frieren herself in her thousands of years of living can't even decipher it, it's insane to me. It is one of like the more softer parts of the magic system, I'd say, because I think human magic is fairly hard. I say hard, but relatively speaking, I think Frieren's magic system is still somewhat soft. We don't know the full rules around it yet. We do know like general guidelines, but not full rules or specifics. But the divine magic is the softest magic I think we've seen thus far, because it's essentially like we don't even know how it works. The gods have it or some shit, and we're just calling it down, and it just solves shit. The priest can do it, and I like that the softest magic system is sort of like relegated to the priests, so that they essentially can just deal with like healing and curses and shit, and they don't have to like necessarily be the damage dealers, because otherwise I feel like that would essentially it would solve a lot of the issues in the story quite a bit. Yeah. And then with man-made magic, we do have sort of a harder structure to it, in the way that it's essentially reconstructed some spells from demon magic. It uses like a mana system for it. Spells and whatnot are oddly specific in this world. Things like that. And then demon magic, I'm guessing, is more like crude, more rudimentary. They deal with curses and shit. And they have levitation, which humans have levitation now too, but generally speaking, it used to be a demon only thing. So, really fun world building stuff. I really like it. I don't know. I do hope that they do keep the magic system sort of soft. Frieren as a show, I don't think benefits from a hard magic system, because again, we don't really care too much about how the magic works specifically. It's more about Frieren's journey and her coming to terms with learning how to rekindle lost connections. I think that is the core, sort of the core message and the core selling point of the story. That and the amazing animation and just like the sort of slow burn world building. I think that's what makes the show great. I think if we come to a point where, the magic system, we have to do this and we outplay our enemies doing that, I don't care. I mean, they tried doing that with the what's her name, the demon girl with the, I have a scale and if my magic is stronger than yours and whatnot. We know that Frieren was going to win that. It was never a question of whether or not she was going to win it, because it was fairly obvious. So I think as long as if they do want to explain it, right, they need to do it in a way similar to that the previous example I gave with the scales, where essentially it's not about the mechanics itself, but it's about sort of revealing some secret about Frieren, or maybe it reveals a past, that flashback or something. I think that works a lot better, because I don't know. I would not like a hard magic system here. It just wouldn't fit. But yeah, fantastic episode, fantastic episode. I don't really got anything else to add, so I'll leave it here. If you like the video, like the discussion, reaction, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care.